Hi, I'm Evan, and welcome to CHS News at 1.
Good morning, Cherokee.
I'm Betty Stencil.
And I'm Wes Baird.
Hey, what are y'all doing?
I'm sorry about that, folks.
Well, anyway, let's start for our letter for this week with Cole. Take it away.
I can't believe it's Cole again.
Hello guys, my name's Cole, your weatherman for this week. Now, let's get straight into the weather. For this week, you'll see lows of 40s throughout the 60s of highs throughout the day, and going down into the night, you'll see lows of 20s all the way up to 50. Now, today, all the way through Saturday, it'll be raining. Now about that, you know Carson from 6th period? You know how he hates the rain? Well, you know what? In 1st period, rules have changed. We love the rain. You know what? Forget about sunny Sunday. We love the rain. This has been your weather for the week. Goodbye.
Oh, God! It says, make an awesome review of Jumanji or face the tsunami.
Well, thankfully we got the best people for that. Take it away, Edward.
And to answer the call, we'll be reviewing the 1995 movie Jumanji. Starting in 1969, a boy named Alan Parrish is called to a mysterious board game named Jumanji. He then gets his friend Sarah Whittle, and the two, not knowing the game is magical, accidentally get Alan sucked into the game. After this, Alan is deemed missing, presumed dead. 26 years later, now set in modern day, the Shepherd family move into the dilapidated Parrish house. Judy and Peter, played by Bradley Pierce and Christina Dunst, themselves being orphaned after their parents' skiing accident. They live with their aunt, but their aunt has to leave early in the morning for her job, leaving the two kids alone for the day. But eventually, they hear Jumanji's call, and continue the now 26-year-old game. And after their own shenanigans with the board, Alan is returned, now being played by Robin Williams. And they eventually get Sarah to continue the game as well. She's now played by Bonnie Hunt. It was then when she found out that Alan didn't perish. And one of the things this movie is known for is its excellent special effects. While it doesn't look as good today as it did in the mid-90s, the special effects still hold up today. It doesn't look as good as movies from that time like Terminator 2 or Jurassic Park do today, but those two kinda cheap by only having to render things that we don't see or have a reference to compare them to. But anyways, the graphics are good enough and won't pull you out of the movie. And as for the acting, I don't have anything to say about it, mainly because there's nothing to dissect. All the actors played their parts well, and I can't think of anything besides that. And the story itself, it's simple, but it does still draw on some complicated subjects like trauma and multiple timelines. It does handle them well, and at the same time doesn't talk down to the viewer. So we give this a 9.5 out of 10.
Yo, what's up, present homies? I am Blake Beckman's future self. I am a time traveler from the year 2041, here to inform you about a possible future of humanity. Well, don't believe me? Well, I've seen the future, so come along with me as we go to the future. Well, here we are in 2036. As you can see, the school has been abandoned since 2026 due to people not wearing masks, so people had to go all digital since then. And then this future reality, the total bummer. People just trying to stop fixing problems and just trying to outlive them. So let's go back to the present and change the course of history. Hello, Blake.
Who are you?
I am your future self.
Totally rad, man.
I have come to inform you about a way to prevent the coronavirus from spreading.
How?
This is a face mask. It'll slow down the risk of preventing from getting the COVID virus.
How do you know?
Well, watch this.
As you can see, if you are not wearing a mask, you have a higher risk of spreading COVID. But if you are wearing a mask, it'll make the risk smaller.
So you see, if you're wearing a face mask, it will not only prevent the spread of COVID, but you will also change future events.
Wow, I will wear a mask from now on and tell all my friends.
And you should too.
Have you ever been to London?
No, I haven't.
Well, let's go on a world tour.
All right, let's go.
Wait. What?
Hop in. Time for a world tour.
Hey everyone, today we are going to visit London, England. Did you know the city was founded in 43 AD by the Romans? That means it is about 2,000 years old. Now that we've got its origins out of the way, let's see what London has to offer. First, let's start off with a place to stay at, and that would be Barbican Estate, a residential complex built in an area that was once demolished by the bombings in World War II. Now let's go to the Tower Bridge. This bridge has a glass floor walkway that you can cross, but I suggest you don't if you have acrophobia. And last but not least, no trip to London would be complete without visiting the famous clock tower, Big Ben. It is 315 feet tall, and the bell weighs 13 tons. Now that's all we have for right now. There are many more places to see at London, like Buckingham Palace and London's Eye. If you're planning on taking a vacation, make sure London is on your mind. We give this destination a 4.9 out of 5. Be sure to tell the Queen we said hi and God bless her.
Give us a sign! Oh, hey there.
Today we're doing.
Game review.
So here's.
Phasmophobia.
Don't scare us like that, dude. Is that good?
Got the intel. Looks like this is going to be a tough one. We've had reports of violence, and it looks like they left in a hurry.
On today's game segment, we are going to be covering Phasmophobia. Phasmophobia is a popular game for PC that released last year and is focused on the idea of 4 explorers going into a haunted house and attempting to seek out what type of ghost is in there. However, things are not as they seem, and this ghost is, violent. There are multiple means at your disposal to attempt to detect what type of ghost it is that you're dealing with, including using a temperature gun to seek out a room that is much more chilly than the rest of the house, to use an electromagnetic spectrum frequency detector to see if there's any sort of weird activity going on, or you can just try to talk to the ghost with a spirit box. All of this while the ghost is actively trying to find you and get you out of its house as it sees you as an unwelcome invader.
We're clear!
For the purposes of this video, we decided to hunt down a ghost in the high school map. High school map is one of the largest and almost certainly one of the most terrifying, as if the ghost starts to hunt you down, there is most certainly no easy escape for you, and most of the classrooms are barren of any sort of thing to keep you out of the ghost's way. Assuming you're still alive by the time you've managed to gather all the clues to determine what type of ghost it is you're dealing with, you can finally run away from the crusty place you were just investigating, submit your response to try to guess the correct type of ghost, and then hopefully rethink all of your life decisions that led you up to this moment. All of that and more can be experienced in the game of Phasmophobia, a wonderful delight of horror, exploration, and puzzle solving. Thank you for tuning in to this week's game segment.
This month is Black History Month.
And we're celebrating all these great people and the Civil Rights Act.
All right, take it away, Jake.
This week, during Black History Month, we are talking about the Civil Rights Act of 1964. The election of 1960 led to the victory of John F. Kennedy. He was elected to lose Southern support for legislation on many fronts by pushing too hard on civil rights legislation. Instead, he appointed unprecedented numbers of African Americans to high-level positions in the administration and strengthened the Civil Rights Commission. He spoke out in favor of school desegregation, praised a number of cities for integrating their schools, and put Vice President Lyndon Johnson in charge of the President's Committee on Equal Employment Opportunity. Attorney General Robert Kennedy turned his attention to voting rights, initiating 5 times the number of suits brought during the previous administration. After the assassination of John F. Kennedy, President Lyndon Johnson signed the Civil Rights Act on July 2, 1964, prohibiting discrimination in public areas, provided for the integration of schools and other public facilities, and made employment discrimination illegal. In the 1960s, Americans who knew only the potential of equal protection of the laws expected the President, the Congress, and the courts to fulfill the promise of the 14th Amendment and its duty to protect the voting rights under the 15th Amendment. It also strengthened the enforcement of voting rights and the desegregation of schools. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 is the nation's benchmark civil rights legislation, and it continues to resonate in America. Passage of the Act ended the application of the Jim Crow laws, which had been upheld by the Supreme Court in the 1896 case Plessy v. Ferguson, in which the court held that separate but equal was constitutional. The Civil Rights Act was eventually expanded by Congress to strengthen enforcement of these fundamental civil rights.
This month is also CTAA month.
Let's take a look at business and engineering.
Have you ever wanted to be a software engineer, an IT specialist, or a video game designer? Then you would like to take the computer science pathway. This teaches you the skills so you can possibly get a degree for the jobs.
First of all, you walk out with certification, okay? But then you also are able to get jobs in the business area that are hopefully moving forward in the insurance area, possibly in investing and banking.
With beginning computer science, then AP computer science principles, and instead of having AP computer science, they're also having a finance class, helping you learn how to handle money in an efficient way. In computer science, you will learn how to code, create websites, and how to design your own program.
Well, in our intro classes, we do a little bit of everything. It's kind of a survey of business. You get a little bit of checking and budgeting, you get a little bit of money management, you get a little bit of credit, insurance, things like that. We also work on Microsoft Word and actually earn Microsoft Word certification.
In Ms. Collins' class, you will learn how to digital design, letting you make graphics on a computer and to use digital tools for animation. If you're interested in these computer science classes, Ms. Thornton's room is in 201 and Mrs. Collins is in 203. If you're interested in taking the computer science pathway, then you'll be happy to sign up for Intro to Computer Science.
Welding could be your pathway to opportunity. Have you ever wanted to be a welder? Or have you ever wondered how they make these cool metal art pieces? The Welding Pathway teaches you the skills and foundations to be a welder. You'll do tons of projects and learn a plethora of skills.
In the metal industry, we're learning sheet metal skills, and we do a lot of art, the log grill that we build, and we're building locomotive grills and all these cutouts and stuff that we're doing on the plasma table. I mean, we do a lot of different projects. By doing those, it teaches you a lot of the basic skills in welding.
Daryl Jones is the teacher here at Cherokee High School.
You know, I've been in the industry. I know what to expect and what to teach.
After completing 3 years in the Welding Pathway, you can take a test to receive a welding certification.
You can get an OSHA safety certification, and you can also get a welding certification. I offer the basic, which is a structural steel. Well, there's all kind of jobs out in the industry. There's basically a lot of structural steel jobs. There's a lot of pipe fitting jobs. There's a huge demand for welding in the industry now. It comes and goes. This generation is a big demand for a lot of welders, a lot of modern technology as far as CNC plasma table.
Thanks for learning about welding. When it's time to register, sign up for Industry Fundamentals and Occupational Safety, if welding is your pathway to opportunity.
Guys,
Zach, it's not my fault.
Yes, it is.
Well, today we're going to be talking about Tom and Jerry.
What's that?
You don't know Tom and Jerry?
Never heard of them.
Did you not have a childhood?
No.
Okay then. Well, here's today in history.
Tom and Jerry was created on February 10th, 1940, by William Hanna and Joseph Barbera. MGM's animation department had yet to produce any hit cartoon characters since it began in the early 1930s. Unlike other animated studios operating at the time, Hanna and Barbera pitched a short cartoon titled Puss Gets the Boot, which was nominated for an Academy Award. This allowed the production of Tom and Jerry. Even though the characters never talked, people loved the animals, action, and comedy. The show and its remakes have still been airing since the 1940s and is still being aired to this day.
Well, Cherokee, thank you for tuning in to CHS News. Remember to follow us on Twitter at CHS News Tweets.
Subscribe at CHS News Warriors style.
And follow us on Instagram at Warrior_News. Have a great day, Warriors.